What's going on, everyone? LA Sports back with another video. In this video, I'm going to be doing my NBA Western Conference predictions as the NBA season is right around the corner. It's starting in about 5 days. So obviously very excited for that as lots of teams going to be beginning their quest for what they hope is a good playoff run and potentially the NBA finals and an NBA title. So let's get things kicked off right from the bottom. Number 15, I'm going to go with the Houston Rockets. This is a team that I don't think really anybody expects too much out of. They had the second pick in the draft, so I feel like they're a team that's going to really struggle, and I think that they're a team that is going to be around, dead bottom of the league and definitely dead bottom of the Western Conference. Number 14, I'm going to have the San Antonio Spurs. This is a team that unfortunately is going to be, heading into a rebuild, taking some steps back. And as long as Greg Popovich has been in control, that really hasn't been something we've ever talked about. They've always been a winning team under him, but, they're just going down the path that, no one really wants to see them go. And it's unfortunate, but they lost DeMar DeRozan, who was really their only piece with hope. They have some nice young players. DeJounte Murray, Lonnie Walker. Of course, they have guys like Trey Jones and Devin Vassell, but they're just a team that's not really going to be competing as well as they hope this season. And number 13, I got the Sacramento Kings. Now, this is a good team, and the West is stacked. Really, every one of these teams is going to fight, and it's going to be close. Of course, we got the 7 to 10 play-in, and I think a lot of these teams are really going to compete for the play-in. Sacramento has some, top pieces. De'Aaron Fox, Buddy Hield, Tyrese Halliburton, Marvin Bagley. They have a good core group of players, and they're going to really compete. The one issue is that there's a lot of other good teams in front of them, and I think that really, between the 9 and 13 spots, I think really there's going to be about 5 or 6 games that separate these teams. It's going to be just so close down the stretch. It's really a coin flip for some of these predictions, but I'm going to go with Sacramento at 13. At number 12, I got the Oklahoma City Thunder. Now, this is a team that has lots of talent, lots of young talent, and is going to be good for years to come. They have Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Lou Dort. That's their main core with Pokusevski, and they have a veteran guy in George Hill to hopefully bring them some nice veteran leadership. They have some they have some really good pieces, to build around. They have a few good picks. Josh Giddey is going to be a really good player. They have Theo Maledon, so they definitely have some players that could play. But like I said, similar with the Sacramento Kings, it's just such a stacked Western Conference, so I'm going to leave them at 12. And then at 11, with a team that's just barely going to miss the play-in, is going to be the Minnesota Timberwolves. This is a team that, injury concerns are just a big thing with this team, and it just makes it so tough. So I think it's going to be tough for a team like Minnesota to make the playoffs, and I think they have a good core group of players. If they stay healthy, they could definitely be in the play-in. But D'Lo and Karl Anthony Towns, they just have an injury history that leaves a lot of questions up in the air. At number 10, in the last play-in spot, I'm going to go with the New Orleans Pelicans. This is a team with a lot of good players that are progressing in the right direction. Zion, Brandon Ingram, those are the two main guys. And I feel like this team is going to be a team that's going to be tough to beat, and a team that's definitely going to compete nicely this season. I see them in the top 10 in the West, at the 10th spot. And right ahead of them in 9th, I'm going to go with the Memphis Grizzlies. John Morant, Dylan Brooks, Jaren Jackson, Jonas Valanciunas. These guys are a good team. They're a competitive team. They're a tough team. They have a will to win, and I just feel like that's a team that, if they can sneak into the playoffs, they're going to be a tough team to beat. And then at number 8, I'm going to go with the Portland Trailblazers. Portland is just a stacked team with two really top-end guys in C.J. McCollum and Damian Lillard. Nice player in Norman Powell to complement them. This team has some serious talent, and I think that this is a team that, is a team that if they get into the playoffs, they can make it to the end. We saw in 2019 they made it to the Western Conference Finals. They had that terrific run and then got stopped by the Golden State Warriors. I think that's a team that can have that potential every single season. I think they have that threat to, knock you out at any given time at any point in the season. And then at 7, I'm going to go with the Los Angeles Clippers in the first play-in spot, just missing out on the top 6 in the playoffs. The Clippers are a team that is they're going to be missing their best player in Kawhi Leonard. Apparently, he might end up coming back. He's progressing quickly, which is good to hear. But I think they're going to be without him for the greater portion of the season, if he even comes back during the season, which is why I have them in 7th. I think this is a team that could definitely fall a little bit, a little bit more down in the standings to 8, 9, 10 potentially. But I just don't see this as a team that misses the playoffs or the play-in. And then at number 6, in the final playoff spot, I have the Dallas Mavericks. This is a team that we saw how good Luka Doncic is. They nearly knocked off the Clippers. But they're a team that could definitely make noise in the playoffs. They're a team that could definitely do a lot of damage. Luka Doncic is one of the best players in the league, and I have a feeling that this team is going to be something special this season. I think that they're going to definitely be in the playoffs in the top 6, and I think that they could make a run depending on who they play and depending on the way that they go into the playoffs this upcoming season. So Dallas at 6. Making it into the top 5, I got the Golden State Warriors at number 5. This is a team that's going to be getting Klay Thompson back, and I think is definitely a team that can make it back to the NBA Finals. Again, they have a great group of players. Stephen Curry is one of the best in the league, of course. They're well coached with Steve Kerr. They got Draymond Green, James Wiseman, Jonathan Kuminga, Andrew Wiggins. They're just a good group of guys, got a lot of good players, and I think they're going to be at that 5 spot. Number 4, I'm going to go with the Utah Jazz. I think that this is definitely a team, of course, that can be a threat in the West. They have, of course, Donovan Mitchell. They have Rudy Gobert. They're another well-coached team. They have some nice bench players, some nice core pieces. Mike Conley. These are guys that can really, really, really take a team to the next level, and I think is definitely going to be one of the better teams in the West. And then at number 3, I'm going to go with the Denver Nuggets. This is a team that has the reigning MVP in Nikola Jokic. They're getting Jamal Murray back. They're getting Michael Porter off of this max contract. If they could stay healthy, they're going to be one of the best teams. It's just so tough to predict the West. Wherever you look at it, it's just a dogfight everywhere. 1 to 5, 3 to 6, 7 to 13. I mean, it's just so close there. It's so tough to predict for. But at number 2, I'm going to go with the Phoenix Suns. This is the reigning Western Conference champions. From a year ago, they made it to the NBA Finals. They lost in 6 games. This is just a really promising team. Devin Booker, DeAndre Ayton, Chris Paul. These are the main 3 guys, and then they have some nice players to complement them. Monty Williams is a terrific coach. I really like what he's done over there. So I think that Phoenix is going to be, one of the best teams in the Western Conference and finish second to the first place Los Angeles Lakers. I still think that this team, they have just so many good players. A lot of players wanted to go play there. They took cheaper deals to go there. And LeBron, AD, and Westbrook, that team is going to be just so tough to beat. And I think the Lakers take the top spot in the West. I think they're ultimately the team that is going to be the toughest to beat in the West, and I have a feeling they're going to be going to the NBA Finals for the second time in 3 years. But that's all I got in this video, guys. You guys let me know your Western Conference picks. Let me know where you think your team ranks, and let me know 1 to 15. And as always, let me know what you think about mine, and please leave a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. We'll see you guys all in the next video. Enjoy the NBA season.